I'm at the Heritage Center. I'm at the Bois Forte Heritage Museum.
Tradition says that the Ojibwe started on the eastern seaboard, on the Atlantic, and they went up the St. Lawrence River, stopping at several places along the way. At each stage in the journey, a great shell rose out of the water and shone out on the people that beckoned them ever westward. Eddie Benton suggests that the journey took 500 years, and I think that would be appropriate because of the time it would take to establish a food growing system, gardens and harvesting and hunting, to get reestablished in a spot and then to move again. The mural is called Keeping to the Path. It has several meanings. Keepers are usually the word that's used, again, this is translated into English, for people who are keepers of tradition. And the path, and it's sometimes explained as the road, is used as a metaphor for the Indian way. So those two words incorporate what's going on here. So what I tried to imagine here is the people represented by babies and children and women and elders and holy people and just ordinary folks taking part in something that's bigger than themselves. And they gaze toward these sites that manifest themselves in this painting, the pictographic map and the great shell.
This talks about trading for pelts from beavers and how the trade was enabled by the Indians of the area. And it would show what you could get. So as an example, 1 axe would be 2 beaver pelts. 1 pound of vermilion would be 3 beaver pelts. Pretty sad state of affairs where we tried to assimilate them into white culture. I like this quote in Vest. 2 views on Indian education. But here's the 1794 response by Indian leaders to an offer of education for their sons. It says, several of our young people were formerly instructed in all your sciences, but when they came back to us, they were bad runners, ignorant of every means of living in the woods, unable to bear either cold or hunger, knew neither how to build a cabin, take a deer, or kill an enemy, spoke our language imperfectly, were therefore neither fit for hunters, warriors, nor counselors. They were totally good for nothing. If the gentlemen of Virginia will send us 12 of their sons, we will take great care of their education, instruct them in all we know, and make men of them. Got it. Lovely. This one says, the forest is sacred. The names of the Bois Forte Band refer to the hardwoods of our homeland. the trees among us are given special respect because they play a vital role in our way of life. And one of my personal favorites would be over here where they talk about wild rice harvest.
Several of my friends came to look at the mural while it was in progress, and he said, well, you're going to have wild rice in there, aren't you? And without having to actually explain back and forth, because we both knew the legend very well, that wild rice was part of the prophecy, and that when they came to this part of the world, that there would be this food resource. And so I included it in the painting, kind of tucked away in the lower left, as part of the fulfillment of the prophecy and the legend. And I guess for the people of Bois Forte, the Net Lake people, I can't imagine a better metaphor than that. The best rice field in the world, the purest waters, the best tasting wild rice. You can't find a better reality to the metaphor than that.
The Bois Forte clan is known for their beadwork. Baby cradles. Games. Pottery. Bois Forte Indians were warriors in every sense of the word.
In terms of some of the other details, one of the things I wanted to show in all the people's outfits was quill work and no beadwork. The floral designs that the Ojibwe people are so famous for, I included none of them here. And I suppose people will ask, where are the floral loops and curves and double curves? And I looked at the oldest examples of Ojibwe quill work that I could find, and some Cree examples as well. And some of these date back to the 1670s. And they're all geometric, porcupine quill work. So that's the motif that I decided to use on everybody's outfits, even though I knew that people would be looking for a beautiful floral motif on a lot of these outfits. I made this decision because I wanted to show the most ancient of designs.
And we'll finish it up with women's jingle dresses. Look at all the things that would jingle. And there's the story on the jingle dress. Very cool. U.S. and Canadian border up top. This one's trails and forager routes. Boarding schools. seasonal camps, and then traditional villages.
Mashkanojek, kinojek, kinebegomegok namek, maraoking zibi, ejemash koziek, maraojiang. Mashkanojek, kinojek, genebegomegok namek, maraoking zibi, ejemashkoziek, maraojiang.
Kamigwech we go gi bugged and indezoyen. 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 Kamigwech we go gi bugged and indezoyen.
Kagike mamoe zongade eyang. Kagike mamoe zongade eyang. Danasa kawiyang shka kamikwang. Danasa kawiyang minogichigaming. Jesus mino amanidok zagiyang girwa. The big Jesus anango kong zagiyang girwa. Kagike mamoe zongade eyang. Kagike mamoe zongade eyang. Danasa kawiyang shka kamikwang. Danasa kawiyang minogichigaming. Jesus mino amanidok zagiyang girwa. Big Jesus anango kong zagiyang girwa.